those people, as in the fans, want to hear from the authority on the West. Even though it wasn't West versus Joey, there were a lot of West Coast MCs involved in this back and forth. They want to know from the authority. Would you say that Joey took the victory in this battle? That's what they want to know.
In what battle? Which one?
In the Ray versus Joey battle, and in the Daylight versus Joey battle.
In Daylight, I would say yes, because Daylight, there's also nuance to that situation that people aren't aware of.
Which is, I guess, clear.
So this is not the same thing. Just okay for all of the people who want the, what did you say?
The voice of authority to speak.
This is not that. This is a pickup game and then the rucker.
Exactly.
This is not the same thing. These are who are cool.
And see, this is why I really didn't get that much invested into this battle, because maybe it's just me, but growing up, battle raps always hit different when there was some weight to it. Like when Pusha T dissed Drake, that man said, "You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home." He was really hiding a child. So it was crazy. Even the Jay-Z and Nas beef, they had their little nuanced things that they would say in the raps that held some type of validity. But the battle between Joey Badass and the West Coast and Daylight, Joey Badass, there's no weight to it. It's like a pickup game. Yeah, it's cool to get bars off or whatever. Nothing really jumps off the page and make me say, oh my God, legendary. But I mean, for what it was a good battle. But to think that Joey and Kendrick need to spar, it's not the same.
It's just for the sport. But in the pickup game, there's a scorecard at the end,
Joey
and somebody says,
cool.
I didn't say that.
He's one of the main participants.
But it still don't hold no weight.
They're not cool. Joey and Ray aren't cool. They even met. They don't even know each other.
This is not the same thing as that.
Exactly.
You're saying
well, see, that's dismissive. It's like, so now authorities like you are punching people like that when it's affiliation with these people and these artists. Now because of this, you want to kind of dismiss this. So this ain't really a real NBA game. This is a pickup game.
Yeah,
but it felt important last week. It felt important then.
To who?
That's emotion.
Well, there's still a scorecard. At Rucker, when KD
Your phone
goes
was blowing up. It was filled with emotion.
No.
When KD goes in and plays and he drops 40 in the Rucker, we still know who won.
With emotion.
What I'm saying to you is,
I'll stop.
This is not the same thing. You're trying to draw a one-to-one parallel between Ray Vaughn and Joey Badass and Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
That's it's not the same.
A welterweight fight doesn't have to be a heavyweight fight. We get all that.
I'm not saying that.
But it's still official. It's still hip-hop and it counts.
Yeah. I didn't say it didn't count.
Yeah,
that's how you're treating it to me.
No, that's what you feel, what I'm saying. What I actually said is this is not the same one-to-one. That's what I actually said.
Who would think that's the same one-to-one?
He just drew a parallel to it.
But not a direct parallel. I'm just talking competitive.
You know, it's not Drake and Kendrick are the heavyweights, super heavyweights that had a super fight. They're two of the biggest of all time.
Right.
We can't match that, but we had you promised us a great week in hip hop.
We had one.
Is it because there's less personal effect to it?
Why such an anticlimactic ending to such great weeks of hip hop?
Because it don't hold no weight. Because now you decided
to pick up basketball time? Because maybe you didn't see the end result that you wanted?
That's a narrative.
We don't have truth. I'm asking.
Okay, when I present truth and then you counter that truth, then it's a narrative, right? So if I present,
telling Jeremy that's not the same as Drake and Kendrick isn't giving me truth. That's not giving me truth.
If you ask me a question and I answer it truthfully, that's my truth.
Why is it?
And just because you don't accept it doesn't mean it's not true.
Disengaged from this battle.
I told you I don't know.
Okay, I respect truth. So then I got to run with narratives.
So exactly. So that's my point. Just because you don't accept my answer doesn't mean that it's not true.
Okay, take my narratives out of it. If we look at the track record of the records from the field, Joey versus the field, is it premature to declare someone the winner in this case? Are we supposed to wait for more music to come from either one of the parties? Daylight submitted to declare Joey the winner. Why don't we feel comfortable saying that Joey won this engagement, which involves him defeating Ray Vaughn also?
Joey said no rules. He said whether Ray
Vaughn responds or not.
You just called it.
Okay.
I don't understand what the confusion is.
I mean, he kind of did. Yeah, he just
Elliott Wilson said Joey won, right?
Right.
He did.
Then that's it.
We would love somebody respected that's from the West Coast.
You're West Coast
Wilson.
Oh,
he won. Oh, okay.
I'm Eastside Elliott.
No. Maul told you stay over there.
Yeah, we do.
Maul told you stay over there.
No.
West Coast Wilson.
Maul's my daddy? My daddy's Elliott Jesse Wilson Sr. I'm Elliott Jesse Wilson Jr.
I'm just saying.
That ain't my daddy. My daddy lives in Nevada.
You said you West Coast Wilson.
I'm going to tell you what I am. I'm a winner, and I'm in the winner's circle. because I'm West Side Wilson and I live in the dot era. He's the heavyweight champion.
You're West Coast Wilson.
And I also am East Side Elliott, East Coast Elliott.
No.
And Joey Badass is our middleweight champion.
I've never heard East Coast Elliott in a year.
I actually haven't heard that yet.
Never heard that. So like Elliott Wilson said, Joey Badass is by default the winner. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I didn't really keep up with all the battles that was dropping. It was too many of them. You feel me? Like you wake up, somebody from the West Coast dropped a response, and this person dropped a response. I think like 3 or 4 people responded to Joey Badass. But I will say this about Joey Badass, even though, you know, I'm probably not the biggest fan and I'm not up to, you know, date on everything that he does, he held his own, because what I did see was that every time somebody did drop a diss record or something, Joey would instantly respond and he would come back with a whole nother record. Now, I can't quote no quotables because, like I said, I didn't listen to everything. I heard like snippets here and there. But to be able to stand up to the West Coast when they was throwing these disses out, you got to give him credit, because nobody in New York like stood next to Joey. It was like, and that's another thing too, the camaraderie. Like, why didn't nobody come to Joey's defense? Not that he needed it, but why didn't nobody, you know, fight with Joey? Ain't y'all supposed to be like the Avengers? Y'all got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? That's how you build camaraderie in your city, just like how Atlanta is. Well, Atlanta was before the whole, you know, YSL thing and RICO cases and people snitching. Now it seems like people in Atlanta are kind of in their own little cliques again, and nobody's really working together. But you know how that go. But yeah, man, Joey did his thing, like you said. And as far as this being compared to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle, I don't even think Kendrick should respond to the Joey disses, because again, they just don't hold no weight. I'm from the era where a diss record held some weight. If somebody came out and dissed you on record, you know, and they were saying things that were like crazy, that's what made the diss that more effective. It's cool to battle rap back and forth just for the sport of it. That's cool. I watch URL battles, Smack DVDs, all that. I grew up on all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, when it's a battle and there is like beef involved and there's real stuff going on, it just makes it that much better. And that, what Joey had going on was more like a, you know, it was a little quick spar session. What Drake and Kendrick had going on, that was a heavyweight fight. We talking about 2 of the biggest in the game. Still, to this day, both of them are still respected. Even though Drake took that massive L, he's still Drake at the end of the day, right? So those are not the same. You can't compare them. And I don't expect Kendrick to respond back, but it's hip hop. You never know. But yeah, man, it's the Kid Ríez. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all be safe, stay carefree, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.